everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Urban Paranormal Podcast, where you might be crazy to some.
But your
Your
family
family
to
to
us.
us.
Hey, what up, what up, what up?
Yeah, we're starting late today,
Yeah,
but don't
we-
worry, we got some for you, right? My
Oh,
name
yeah.
is JH. I'm your host.
And I'm your moderator, Trent A. Johnson.
Amazon Jamencia, the sexiest girl you ever seen.
Hey, I like that.
There you go.
And towards to this other side, this is your anchorman, Dave R., reporting for duty. And
Man, we can't even hear you, bro.
I say it's the kid that did.
Yeah, the kid that did some bullshit on the show.
All the time.
All
It's
right.
going down.
So, everybody, what we're talking about today, we're talking about the moon. All right? Did America actually land on it when they say they did?
the
or-
moon landing, was it real
Yeah.
or fake?
Or was it fake? I mean, did they really do it? I mean,
Ah, shit, who knows, bro? It's been a big debate for a long time, man.
yeah, you guys, like you said, it's been a big debate for everyone, and so tonight you're going to see us debate: did it happen or did it not?
And before we get into that, man, I want to give a shout out to my bro, D Ray,
The
the
weatherman.
weatherman. He's not with us tonight.
Yeah,
Hopefully he gets well soon. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Yeah, rest up and get well, brother.
Yeah, and also Janet Wang.
Janet
Yeah,
Wang.
she has something she posted today. So
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you, Janet.
Hopefully she'll be back soon.
Right, she's filming a movie, guys. That's why she's not with us.
She's somewhere being important.
Right, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Right.
So
thank you for the Hollywood Hill. That's the haunted house. We appreciate it.
yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. We miss you, Janet.
So
I got some other news, bro. Before we
oh,
get
you
into
you
that.
what, already? Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah.
ahead.
The cicadas are returning
Okay.
after 17 years.
Okay. What are the cicadas, man?
I mean, well, if you live in Texas or other southern states,
Mm-hmm.
you know that sound when you step outside in the summer, those bugs that make that noise, kind of like a cricket, but it's
Oh,
not exactly a cricket.
yeah.
That means it's fucking hot.
it's
Us in Texas, we equate that sound with fucking summer
okay.
and it being hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the 17th year, so this brood of cicadas is coming up, and the news is suggesting that we eat the cicadas,
What?
the females. They say the females taste the best.
How do we know which one is female and male?
I
That
have no
dick?
fucking idea. You
Oh.
have to
When
taste
you-
them. You know the difference when you taste
No, I don't. I don't know the difference.
when you taste different genitals and shit.
Nah, I don't know.
Well, the best way
Okay.
the best way to see if it's male or female is if you dissect the abdomen, the females will have the eggs.
Okay,
But
cool.
the thing is, you can eat the cicadas by, either frying them and dipping them with chocolate or whatever type of flavor if you're going to go more for the indigenous diet.
well,
What
new-
the fuck? He done that? You did that before?
I've
Nah,
heard
that's
that in
some of that
Mexico
shit
and the
he did in
Philippines they would
college.
try
Wow.
to, dip or fry the bugs and then they would eat them because
Well, the news said that it was best to boil them, and,
Yeah, of
and the
course.
females were the best.
yeah, you can air fry them, you could boil them, whatever's your choice.
He had
So
the whole
anybody-
recipe. He had the whole
Anybody
recipe.
putting cicadas on the menu?
Nope.
I know, right?
I definitely would try it.
To each
Okay.
is their own, really.
Mhm.
I would probably try it if it was prepared the right way.
Look here.
After Jay identifies if it's male or
Nah,
female.
I mean, hey, he got me when he was talking about, you got to dissect it and get the eggs, the ones with the eggs.
I know,
I mean,
right?
so a lot of males have to die before you know which one to
Exactly.
eat. That
Trial
sucks,
and
Yeah,
you
of
know?
course.
That sucks.
So I got something else in the news, David. What about this tiger that's been spotted here in
I
Houston?
am glad you brought it up, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. This has been pretty shocking. The only reason why we're talking about this tiger in the urban paranormal is because the relevance that there's a fear factor that it's a tiger. We're dealing with the fear of the unknown, and number two, we have
Just
a
get to the
correlation.
fucking
news, man.
story.
We have a correlation that this murderer, by the name of Victor Hugo Cuevas, he took this tiger into his SUV van because he wanted to have his own pet tiger. Little did he know that when he got caught with the cops, he literally was arrested and then he was charged with the murder crime, which is totally different from
The tiger.
obtaining
Yeah.
the tiger. Now the tiger was set off loose and it's still running off whatsoever somewhere in Fort Bend County. Okay, so to get it a little bit more further, Cuevas was held on a 50,000 bond neighboring in Fort Bend County, which it was posted at Wednesday. Michael Elliott said when he was discussing outside of Cuevas in his jail that he named this 9-month-old Bengal tiger India.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Well,
a
I
pretty
seen the
name.
news report. I seen the guys
Mhm.
coming outside, and there's a fucking tiger on the front line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
That would
Yeah.
fuck me up.
The tiger was like it was prowling on his next prey too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
looked sucked.
But
That's
it,
But
how I saw it was like the tiger was like in his own world. He wasn't even bothering anybody.
Well, he was
Well.
pretty shy. He was running
Yeah.
away.
I want to
Um,
did he
go ahead.
get charged for the murder that the tiger had committed?
Well, no, the tiger
No.
didn't commit any
No.
murder.
The
The
tiger
tiger
didn't.
was just spotted, and it just so happened he was wanted for murder or some shit. I don't know.
And another
But
case.
the scary part
Oh,
about
okay.
this is the tiger.
and the
Yeah.
tiger is still elusive
So the
today.
tiger is still
my
loose
gosh.
here. If
Yes.
you live in Fort Bend, don't let your kids out.
Or
Yeah.
neighboring counties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a
That
fucking tiger on the loose.
That tiger has been on the loose since the past year. Just to let you know,
What?
for some,
Did he say a
Yes, the
year?
Past
yeah,
year.
for the past year, he's still not caught to
Past
this day.
year.
No, this just happened, bro.
This just happened.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
lost.
okay. Well, let me just go ahead get to this facts that I've got
Wow.
over here.
Well, let's get to the
Yeah,
get to the
thing.
podcast.
Our,
Yeah.
our newsman is losing it today.
Wow.
He sure is.
He's a whole year in the future.
Well, maybe we
Yes,
don't know
he
the
is.
story.
Big
Maybe
time.
we don't know the
Okay,
story.
okay.
Yeah.
According to what we're looking at right now, we've already seen the report that was based on May 10th, 2021. According to prior to that, it is approximately at, yes, it was on May 12th, 2020.
What
So-
happened?
Okay, in May 12th, 2020, that tiger was reported it was wandering. They made another report that's following up to there a year after prior, which is at May 10th,
So I wonder
2021.
what this tiger's been eating for a whole year.
God knows that tiger
kids
could
are
be
missing.
eating
Probably
cattle,
Frosted Flakes.
Cats.
They're great.
Dogs.
I know, right?
I will tell you this. They'll probably go ahead and eat something small like rats, little animals,
What about
chickens.
cats?
Well,
cats.
David, that was like a
That rhetorical question.
yeah. I didn't really mean for you to answer that.
Right. So,
Well, you did ask, so
I know,
I had
right?
to
let's,
provide.
hey,
It's
so
all
let's get
good.
into the moon, man.
Yeah.
All right,
moon
let's go
landing.
to the moon.
Now, I'm pretty sure everyone has looked at the moon and said, "Damn, man, I wonder." Just the curiosity of, are there people up there? Are there things up there? And then you hear, "Oh, but we went up there." Well, why don't we know these? Why don't we have these answers?
I don't know, bro. That shit. When I was doing my research, it was hard to say if I believed or if I didn't believe. It was valid arguments on both sides, you know.
Me too.
Yeah, because man, it's just so much shit.
Yeah. Well, for you guys, we're talking about the Apollo 11 mission.
Yeah,
All right. That happened in '69.
Yeah.
The famous "One Small Step for Man."
a one giant leap for mankind.
Exactly.
Or was it a bunch of bullshit for mankind?
You know, here go my thing, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so they play this song, all right, and the song is called "Fly to the Moon" by
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
So they have that already playing. They have that, and then they have this speech. Obviously, one small step for man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost like it's too perfect.
Yeah.
All right. It's to me, it's like a script, a screenplay writer wrote it. It was so perfect that, and we know when there's a perfect script, a few years later, other writers look and say, "Hey, there's holes in that script,"
Yeah.
and
yeah.
those holes are what we call today as conspiracies.
Well, people at the time were probably just so awestruck to think that a man was going to the moon.
and so
They
he laid it.
overlooked all that little
Mhm.
bullshit that the conspiracy theorists brung up later.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, also Trent, it's like this here too. Back in the '60s, you know, whatever the government said, you just went with.
Yeah, yeah, they just
So you
went
didn't
with that
question
shit.
it, and it took us, our generation, to say, hey, let's go back over this shit.
Let's look over some of this shit.
Yeah, this shit's
Yeah.
not right. You
I
know what I
know,
mean?
right.
So we have questions.
Well, you know this dude, the top scientist, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he said it would be easier to go to the moon than to fake all the documents.
Wow.
And
Which I don't
I don't
agree
believe
with.
that either. I don't agree.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Not to play devil's advocate here,
Okay.
but I would have to agree with Neil deGrasse Tyson for only one perspective factor,
Right.
and it is to get the modern day proof that we actually did for good land on the moon if we take our new HD footage and then we just take new pictures so that we could just prove, okay, it is possible to land on the moon. It could either support either side of the argument, whether or not, okay, there's no such thing as a moon or there is.
Okay, I don't think that is the question. Is there a moon or not? We see a moon with our own eyes. Hopefully, it's not a
Yeah.
hologram.
I'm just throwing it out there, you know, for people who are just in doubt.
Well,
That's all.
some people think the moon is a spaceship.
Some people
Yeah.
think it's made of cheese.
Well, if
Or
it's made of
broccoli.
cheese, I want some of that shit. If it's made of cheese, I
know,
want some.
Right.
Same
Some people
here.
think the moon is a planet.
Right.
And we still have people that, you know, are still not properly.
Well, why
informed.
wouldn't it be a planet?
Well, because a planet would have to be rotating around the sun. A moon is
Well, I
rotating
mean,
around
that's
a planet.
that's according to what people say. but-
That's what people say. Yeah.
So if somebody lived there, could we say, "Hey, y'all, you don't live on no fucking planet.
you live on
It
a
is
rock.
possible.
You live on a rock."
It is possible to live on a moon, theoretically speaking, if we have the right.
But that's what I'm
resources.
saying. Who are we to call their planet not a planet?
Right. Right.
You
Just
could live
because
on
it
a
don't do
planet?
the shit that we want it to do.
Right.
You
We're
could
not-
live on a planet. You could live on a moon. There's always that
But
possibility.
but what I'm saying is, if someone did live there, who are we to call their planet
not a planet.
Exactly.
you don't
Because
it
it
doesn't have to
doesn't
be a
s-
planet that you live on. It could be a moon, or you could live.
Okay,
on.
never mind,
Okay.
David.
David,
Yeah.
you're missing what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, it's
can
okay.
settle
It's
on any
alright.
settlement. We could settle on a spacecraft that's rotating around a planet or even a moon, if we
Okay.
wanted to.
Well, let's say a heavenly body. Let's put it like that. Who are us? Who are we to say that their heavenly body is not equal to ours, and therefore not a planet, because it doesn't move around the sun?
That
Well-
is an interesting concept.
Well, here go the thing, man. So there's a lot of people with mixed opinions,
Yeah.
whether it happened or it didn't happen. And there was a opinion poll taken in various locations that shown that between 6% and 20% of Americans, right,
Yeah.
believe that it's faked,
Oh, that's it. No, that's low numbers.
right? And of that, there's 25% of Britain, Britons that believe it's faked, and 28% of Russians also
Believe
believe
it was faked.
that it's faked.
Wow.
I mean, so there's a lot of people.
Mhm.
I mean, you say the number's low, but that's a lot of people because
6 to 20%. Yeah.
I mean, well, the thing is that they didn't ask everybody.
Yeah.
This is based off their
'Cause
ass.
They should have asked me.
They didn't ask me either.
I know.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right.
not a part of the poll. It's like a
Mhm.
Family Feud thing. But I'm just saying that it is doubt that
Yeah.
it ever happened.
So where do you stand on that?
Trent, I'm at the point of where I believed a long time ago that it didn't happen. But after doing research, they seem to have arguments that made it. I'm 50-50, Trent,
Okay.
on both sides.
Well, I'm like 70-30.
70-30.
I'm with Jay on that 50-50.
Okay, I'm like 70-30. And the 70 is leaning toward they didn't go. But
Okay.
the 30 is leaning toward they did. What
Yes.
about you, David?
I'm gonna have to go ahead and stand with we actually did, and I do have stacks of paperwork to prove that we actually did do the moon landing. Not only
Okay.
just based on what they said, but also through the debunking that these people had gone to the conspiracy theorists, stating that, okay, if we went to the moon, how come why the footage is not right, or how come why the shadows are not right? I have the paperwork to prove why.
Well, come on with it.
Well, tell us.
Well,
Tell us.
Okay, so where would you like to start, guys?
Wherever you want to start.
Okay. All right. So to put the show that claims 20% of Americans have doubt that went to the moon, that number is misleading. According to the 1999 Gallup poll, it was more like 6%. You've already stated it. Another one is the photos. Okay, take a look at the photos. If you take a look at the 60s photos, notice that they were, top of the notch at their time. Now it's outdated, so now we have people, having doubts saying, okay, that can't be real. However, if you compare the Earth's atmosphere to the moon's atmosphere, the projection of the stars being lit up is totally different according to the frame rate. And you can't say that it is fake because the photo is dependent on the light and the atmosphere force to get the proper lighting that we need to see.
Well, first of all, the moon doesn't have an atmosphere.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that it is fake because we're not seeing the stars. Well, it doesn't have an atmosphere, so the stars that are just shining through, it's shining through super fast that the frame rate of the photo is not capturing it as detailed as the Earth. So now we
I don't know
have
been
about
up
that.
there
we
to
have
see that shit.
detailed. We have now HD photo cameras that now we can take higher frame rates to get that accuracy.
Okay, well, and second of all, HD footage of the moon landing doesn't exist.
Correct.
It
because-
doesn't exist, but
Yeah.
we can if we do a second trip to the moon. if
Okay. Well,
possible.
what
We're-
I'm
we're
trying to
talking about the
say,
first
get out, is that the camera that they used to film the moon
Mhm.
landing, it couldn't broadcast in the same aspect ratio as the television.
Yes.
So what they did, they were monitoring straight from the supposed moon landing,
Mhm.
and they filmed the television, and
Yeah.
that's what they broadcast out to the public.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Now, but here go the thing, though. You say that all of that is concrete evidence, right?
Concrete, sir.
Concrete evidence,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think so. And here's why I don't think so. All right. Just as you do your research and you're reading these papers, they're telling you all of these things, right? And you're saying that every other Apollo mission in space, even with a telescope right now, we can get one and we can look up in the sky and we can see stars. But just that particular mission, there are no stars.
Again, this is going into to the photo that Trent was suggesting, that the photo that we were taking at the time, it was broadcasted to its frequency, its detail at the time. Now, when the astronauts were there, Neil Armstrong and his guys,
Buzz
Buzz,
Aldrin.
they were able to see the stars quite clearly.
Okay, I don't know if I heard that.
I heard that
Yeah.
they were able to see them, but we weren't, and from their photos, we weren't able to see. Why won't we be? Why are we not allowed?
Well, he's saying because of the no atmosphere, that something that the light. What were you saying? The light.
The light
you would have to
spectrum-
have an atmosphere to see the light.
Yeah,
See the stars.
and then you also have to have a high speed frame rate to get the exact light projected.
Well, I would think if the frame rate, because the frame rate was 10 frames per second.
Yes. Now we have 60 to
Yeah.
100. So,
So,
now we're capable of
I would
getting
think
that.
I would think it would be more like a picture. I would think it would be easier to snap.
It would be.
Yeah.
If we go into
of
space,
of the stars.
Of the
yeah,
star.
If we
Yeah.
go into space, get our now modernized camera and do it, it would be physically possible now to get those stars in detail.
No, what
No,
I'm
no.
saying
At
is
that time,
if this
At that
is-
time,
if,
no.
if this
If
camera
we do it now, we can.
What I'm saying, if this camera is moving at such a slow frame rate, it would almost be like taking a picture, right?
Yes. Because of the limited technology that we had at the
So
time.
so I would think the stars would show up if you moving at a slow frame rate.
Well, they didn't have the technology of doing the slow frame rate at the time because they didn't invent that.
What
at
I'm
that
saying,
time.
it was only 10 frames per second.
Yes,
that's
the
slow as
10
you
frames,
can fucking go.
The 10 frames was
Yeah.
the only thing they had to work with.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
all right. I mean, well, like I
So-
said, I find that odd that every other mission, you see stars, except for that particular mission.
Yeah.
And when I say stars, I'm talking about, I guess they're supposed to be planets in the world. But there was also other issues with
Planets
those.
in the world.
I mean, planets in the space.
okay.
But there was also stars missing in general, like from flags, like from things of that nature.
yeah.
Why is that? Why couldn't the frame rate pick up that, David?
Okay, you're talking about the flag when the astronauts they set the flag on the moon and it seemed like it was still, right?
No, I'm
Seemed
talking.
like it was flapping in the wind.
It was flapping. It was one of it flapping in the wind.
Okay, and you're saying it was based on the moon footage that you said that you seen, right?
Right.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I thought it had no gravity on the moon, so
Well, the gravity
A
is weaker in
limited
the moon.
amount of grace weaker on the moon. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's a very good point.
But it's no wind on the moon.
There
would
is
be
no
the
wind.
thing, yeah.
Absolutely.
So
We
how did they
stated-
capture that?
Okay, we simply stated there is no atmosphere, so it is slower for the wind to, for the flag to be flapping down, but it's flapping downwards according to its weak gravity. But it's doing it slowly, but it's not doing it repulsively fast. It's doing it slow because of the weak gravitational force. When they were taking the picture back in 1969, according to the mission, that was the footage that they were able to take according to the nature of the weak gravitational pull of that flag.
Okay, well, the official explanation is that they designed the flag to flap like that, so it would look like it was flapping in the wind.
Correct.
But there is no
Mhm.
wind in the moon. That's one thing we're also
Yeah,
seeing
that's what
too.
I'm saying.
But I brought that up because that is a conspiracy, the conspiracy theory stronghold. They always talk about that.
The flag,
Right,
yeah.
the flag, they talk about the stars,
Well,
the-
here I want to bring this up.
Go ahead.
So there's rumors
Mhm.
and conspiracy
Right.
that Stanley Kubrick
Direct.
actually directed and oversaw the filming of the fake moon landing.
Correct.
Excuse me.
Right.
Yeah, so they say the whole thing was cooked up by 2 CIA agents,
Mhm.
and they sent Richard Nixon actually sent what's his name, Donald Rumsfeld
Okay.
and Henry Kissinger to England to recruit Kubrick to film this for them. And Kubrick turned it down at first. And then after they started telling him, that Nixon loves your movies and shit, he finally agreed to do it.
Okay.
And so they said it was filmed at a MGM Studios in England, and that Kubrick oversaw. He was overseeing it at first, and seeing that they weren't doing it right, so he actually stepped in and directed the whole thing.
Right. And you know that there's actually Stanley Kubrick talking about that before he dies.
No, I didn't know that.
There's actually video.
And those who don't know who Stanley Kubrick is, Stanley Kubrick, he directed The Shining,
And Clockwork Orange. my
Clockwork
favorite.
Orange,
Mhm.
a lot of famous movies. He's a
Right.
big director.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they actually say that he gave hints in the movie The Shining.
Really?
Yeah, anybody saw The Shining?
Yeah, I did.
I did.
Yes,
I
yeah.
did.
Okay, so they say the little kid in The Shining,
Right.
Uh-huh.
he's riding the big wheel.
Mhm.
He's wearing the Apollo 11 shirt on his sweater.
Okay.
Yeah.
His shirt actually says Apollo 11.
Wow.
Mhm.
So he rides his big wheel, or he goes into room 237.
What is 237?
The moon is 237,000 miles away from the Earth.
Damn.
So they were
Wow.
saying Kubrick was trying to give you hints.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was saying like the little kid in the Apollo 11 shirt represented him, and the room 237 represented the moon, or the fake moon, or whatever.
Mhm.
And if you remember the movie, when the little kid came out of the room 237, he couldn't talk.
Right.
He was trying. His mama was asking him what's wrong, but he couldn't talk, and that was supposed to represent him
Not being able to tell the
not
truth.
being able to tell the truth.
Wow.
Yeah,
So all of that was fake?
all of what?
Well, he's basically saying that he was hinting
Yeah, that Kubrick was trying to hint
that the moon landing was
that
fake.
the moon landing was fake.
I did.
Wow.
I did come up with the evidence in terms of the flag waving issue and so forth. Okay. Yes. Of course, the flag can wave in a vacuum, but when the astronauts vacuum or not, when you whip around the vertical pole, the flag will quote wave when it's attached to the top. So the astronauts did apply some force to make it look like
So
it's
they whipped
waving
around
it.
the vertical pole.
Yes.
It's like a stripper.
Can we?
Right.
Whipped around the vertical pole.
Basically, if you have your hand on the pole and you
I know what
insert-
that means. You don't have to explain to me, bro.
Nah,
I
nah,
might
let 'em-
say it
let-
in a different way.
Okay.
I understand. So you saying they whipped around the vertical pole?
If you want to think that way, yes.
Okay.
like,
Well,
a,
no,
like a stripper.
Let him explain. Let him explain.
yeah, explain.
Okay. So if you're whipping around the vertical pole, basically, if you're able to rotate the pole, that flag, even though it's a vacuum, it could still wave. You're putting you're whipping it so it makes that wave
But-
effect.
That so it would. You mean like that?
Yeah, like that.
They weren't doing that, David.
Well, according to what this is just telling me right now, that's how they were able to give the illusion that it gave it some gravitational
Okay.
wave.
Okay.
And Dave, that sounds like someone trying to debunk.
That sounds like he wants to believe really bad.
Right.
Yeah, he do.
Debunk the fact that people don't. Let me tell you. This
I'm
is-
not saying that it did. I'm
right.
just,
Right.
I'm
not-
just offering, from the opposition side. You guys can believe whatever, folks. You can also believe whatever too. Whether if we actually did land on the moon or not.
Right. And folks, he's right. We're not trying to tell you yes or no. All right. We're just discussing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my thing about it. People say, well, Jay or Trent's made the statement that it would cost more, to go to just to go to it would cost less to go to the moon than it would to be to
no,
fake
they
it.
were saying it would be harder to fake all the documents and make the story up. They're saying it would be easier to go to the moon.
Right.
It would be.
Right.
I don't see how.
Okay.
Not at all.
Well,
I don't see
I think that's lame on the cool. Now I'm gonna say this here.
that
I'm
makes
gonna
no fucking sense.
I'm gonna say this, David, because I know you got something to say. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this in your defense on that part. The issue is that whenever you're gonna do a crime, right? The best thing for you criminals, so you should know, is that
yeah,
if
you should.
right, that you should do a crime by yourself. Because no one's going to tell them themselves. So you don't want to have 10 people with you doing a fucking crime because eventually the word would get out. So in order for NASA to have faked all of this stuff, they've had to have so many different people working on it. And why has no one come out and said, yes, we did fake it?
Because they know
So
that
what?
the
Wait a
CIA
minute,
would
Jay.
get
Are
rid
you
of that.
agreeing with him, or you? I don't understand which way you went there.
Okay, the way that I went there was yes, I was actually defending the situation.
Okay.
That yes, it is a fact, or not a fact. It's an opinion of mine that it would be
Or a
very
bias.
it'd be very
To
difficult.
fake all of the
to fake
paperwork
all of
and
these
have
different
all these.
things.
Okay.
But I have an idea
me-
why I would think that it's fake. But
Me personally, I think that it would be easier for them to fake that because for the simple
I
fact,
think so
going,
too. Yeah.
going to the moon would be, you know what I'm saying, a lot of shit you got.
That's a lot of.
orchestrate.
Yeah.
And
know what
that's
I'm saying?
pretty interesting what you're saying because I have seen videos of it and there had like a camera setting a tripod in one of the pictures. You can actually see it
Alright.
behind.
Oh wow.
Right.
And
To
I've
be
seen
honest,
that
ever since
personally.
I had known about the government and the shit that they do, I
Right.
just feel like nothing they say is true to me.
okay, and you guys at home, I know you don't see him on the screen, but he's behind the scenes. But he has a microphone and he's actually talking, so you can very well hear him. Okay, and he's there. So we're gonna
Oh,
show
wow.
you who
yeah,
he is.
I was
you know.
meaning to ask about that, but
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll fix that
We-
on
we
the
don't-
next.
no worries, we'll
Yeah.
fix
I
it.
will definitely say this in terms of, whether or not if it would be cheaper to go to the moon or to film it. If they were able to go ahead and film it back in the 1960s, using the laser technology to fake, all these lights just to project to say, oh, we did do landing on the moon. First of all, the lighting would be so hot for the actors for them to kind of just dance, move around, and then record it in slow motion.
And
The camera, however, would not even have enough frame rates to cause it to go in slow motion as they're, jumping and skipping whatsoever. Thirdly, the amount of electricity that it would take to power up all this advanced technology, if theoretically
all of
they
what?
did,
But they had
I'm
enough to
just-
power a fucking
no,
space
no.
shuttle.
Let me
Right.
explain. Let me explain. Let me explain. Let me
Come on,
explain.
bro.
Can I ask you this? Can I ask you this before you explain this? Is it safe to say that America is built on one big ass secret?
Always,
Always. Yeah.
Okay.
I
so
100 believe you.
You wouldn't think that all them motherfuckers in the CIA or whatever they in can keep a secret about this?
Yeah, I would believe that. That would be easy.
Right.
So how
There
would
are
it be
plenty-
harder for them to fake some paperwork and put some shit on the
That's
TV
what I'm
for
saying.
you to believe?
Okay.
Yeah.
There
know what
are
I'm
some
saying?
let me say this. There are some things that the CIA are able to fake, but to fake the moon landing would be incredibly expensive, to do it on a
I mean,
film set because you have so much power coming in, it would cause a power outage.
What
Number
do you mean
two,
so much power?
You
what is
naive.
electricity? You're draining so much electricity to
How?
put laser
Why?
lights
How?
to project.
I
a
don't
fake
think so.
moon
No.
I don't think
and
so.
and I do have my source. If you go look at,
I seen that too,
if
David.
you
I
go
did too.
look at Adam Ruin's conspiracy
saw that.
theories,
Yeah.
And
he
that
will explain.
And I watched it, Adam Ruin's Conspiracy Theories,
I watched it too,
and it was
some
bullshit.
Yeah,
It was
because
straight
they're
bullshit.
saying the lighting technology didn't exist. Come on, bro.
It didn't
lights
exist
didn't
at that time.
Lights didn't
Lights didn't
exist.
exist.
No, those type of light technology.
What
did
type
not
of lights?
The laser lights that he was.
Why would you
explaining.
need laser lights?
Why would you?
We wouldn't have laser lights in that time.
No, I'm
That's the
saying
whole
why?
point.
Why would you need
Need-
laser
exactly.
lights?
The laser.
Who uses laser lights today in film? We all make films.
We all make.
Whoever
films.
seen a laser light on the
He's
fucking
just saying,
set?
theoretically speaking,
Oh, I
if we were
did,
to
I
pull
did.
that BS.
No, you didn't.
Nah, no, I'm
If we were
bullshitting.
trying to go ahead and theoretically pull that BS,
But I'm
of laser
saying-
lights,
but what
we
I'm
wouldn't
saying,
have that technology
have-
in the '60s.
Okay, how many? You've been in a few movies, right, David? You ever seen a laser light on the set?
There is no such thing as a laser light. He was
Okay.
trying to make a point that there is
Okay.
no such thing as a laser light at the time
You
of the
just
'60s.
said it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so-
Yeah.
that,
Just
that,
saying theoretically,
that doesn't
gave
make
us an
sense.
It would
answer.
happen,
to me.
but it would not. But that's also proving that we couldn't have made a film to fake the moon landing.
I don't-
Okay,
I don't
okay.
get it.
Well, let me say this here. Let me say this. So lights are just lights. Okay, let's
Yes.
just say
Yes,
lights are just
lights are
lights.
lights,
Are
bro.
lights.
I don't buy
Now,
that shit.
What he's
Yeah.
trying to say and what this guy was saying is that because they were on the moon, that the light shadows are parallel versus being, slanted
Well,
and stuff like that.
Can I add in what? No, what I think what David's trying to say, because the only light source was
Was
the
the
sun.
sun?
Right.
And he's saying that they would have to have so many lasers to recreate this.
That which is crazy. I'm
yeah, I
saying
don't believe
I'm
that.
saying that the reason why they say that the sun was because where they were positioned and next to the sun is the reason why the shadows on the ground are parallel versus us being on Earth and we doing regular lighting, our shadows will be a little different.
Well-
So when I read it, that's what they were saying. So I would say this here.
I believe
That's
they coulda-
bullshit. You could move light wherever you
You
wanted
can
to.
magnify light.
Right.
That
You know
is
what I'm
true.
saying?
You can.
You know, so they Adam Ruins Everything is a jackass at this
Yeah,
He
point.
is.
ruined.
All right.
To some degree, he is. He's a fact class clown, but
Right.
he does have some degree of truth.
Right.
That's
But
all I'm
now
saying.
now let's just pay attention to let's just pay attention to what the Prince over here said, and kind of what Trent said. The Prince made a statement that you mean to tell me these CIA agents, right? CIA couldn't go off in there and just change documents and do whatever, right? Trent made the same statement. It is the fucking CIA. And now remember, the CIA has put money into creating themselves into news. They have done that and took over the news. And that project is called Mockingbird. Right? So that means that the CIA can do whatever the fuck they want to do on television. So wouldn't it be fair to say that Adam Ruins Everything is paid by possibly
Right.
these people to
Exactly.
say this shit?
Yeah, and then
Adam,
all
Ruin- Adam Ruins Everything is paid by their sponsors to
Oh,
go ahead and
shit.
do their opinions.
Y-
With their- Okay, if he was going to go ahead and get paid by the CIA to do it, he probably wouldn't have the ability to debunk some of the history myths that we were talked about. If so, he would be silenced.
Wow. Okay, you
Maybe.
know what? I tell you what,
Just like-
guys. Hold on a second.
All right.
Guys, we're going to take a break, right? And it's going to be really quick because we'll be right back, okay? And when we get back, before we get back, I would like you to, like,
Subscribe.
subscribe and share, okay? And also, tip us. We're here late tonight.
Oh yeah.
So you can tip us at $DSB Media on Cash App, okay?
Yeah, if you got a show idea,
Yep.
or you just want to hit us up, you can hit us up at urbanparanormal13@gmail.com.
And we'll be back right after this. back.
Hey,
You caught me in the middle of drinking something. So, I would like to say thank you
damn,
for
my drink is gone.
right. Thank you for returning. All
Okay.
right, with us. Here's the thing. Did we land on the moon? Yes or no? Well, we don't really have the answer for that because
Yeah.
we don't fucking know.
Yeah.
We only going off of the conspiracy theorists, common sense, and
The government
and the
that
government
wants us to
debunks,
believe
right.
And scientific
it's
data.
real.
and scientific data.
Yeah,
Um,
on both sides.
on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that being said, there was a whole debacle about before when we was off break. David was talking about some rocks or some shit.
Moon rocks and moon dust, space dusts, and so forth. And I was explaining on the break that, if you want to look at something that's physical instead of getting told, you can go to the Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center here in Houston and see it for yourself. Ask, the scientists the questions there. You can even go into the chemistry and then look into the ferrous metal properties to see how that is developed different from the Earth component structure.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I got a little something for that.
Go ahead.
So, according to NBC News,
Let's do it.
there was this guy. He was the Dutch Prime Minister,
Oh, okay.
and he received space rocks from Neil Armstrong
Okay.
as a gift.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
He was blessed.
yeah, he was blessed with these moon rocks from Neil Armstrong,
Mhm.
and he died. So 2009, when he died, quite naturally, these moon rocks go to the museum.
Mhm.
So now the museum gets to examine them, and guess what? They weren't fucking moon rocks. It was petrified wood.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can look this up.
Yeah, I definitely need to.
NBC
This
News.
is
Yeah.
some good stuff right
Yeah,
here.
it's-
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now these weren't the same. These weren't the same materials that we see in the Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center.
Hopefully not. David.
Hopefully not. But I would like to look into that because there are some cases where people would be fooled with fake.
But we're
stuff
talking about
and
Neil
real stuff.
Armstrong, the
And he
first
do-
man on the moon.
Who picked up
Personally
the
picked up
moon
these moon
and-
rocks,
and dust.
and he gave the Dutch Prime Minister petrified wood.
I would definitely
Wow.
need to look into
You know,
that.
Neil,
for
Neil
sure.
Neil Armstrong was probably like he probably took a swig of some alcohol and was like, fuck this Dutch motherfucker.
Yeah,
I know, right? I know, right?
I'm gonna get this nigga some
I-
shit. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
I
I'm
will-
And
excuse
he
my language,
definitely
but I'm
gave
just
that
saying.
nigga some
Okay.
shit.
I
Hey,
will
come
res-
on,
excuse your
come on,
language,
come
too,
on,
I'm
come
sorry.
on
I will
with that, man.
respectfully disagree to a certain extent, but because my scientific mind is curious, I will like to look into the NBC report.
Go
One thing
ahead.
I definitely need to bring into the table is, are you sure that it's fake or not? And that's the obvious
Well,
question. But I would like to look
News.
into the NBC News for this.
Yeah, go ahead. You can look it up.
Yeah.
And there were several other
Cases.
moon rocks, supposed moon rocks, that turned out to be petrified wood.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, well, here go the other thing. I mean, even as 2001, Fox News, they with Fox Television, they basically the network have a documentary called "Did We Land on the Moon?"
Mm.
And it's got all type of scientific facts, basically saying that the NASA faked the first landing in 1969 to win the space race.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons
Mm-hmm.
why I lean toward the 70% that they didn't go, because this was during the height of the Cold War
Right.
and the space race, and America had just lost the first leg of the race
Right.
because Russia was the first to put a man in space, and they were the first to
Satellite. Right.
put a satellite in
Right.
space.
Mm-hmm.
And America didn't like that shit.
Right.
Because if y'all know, the space race wasn't really a race to get to space. It was a race to show the other party that I got a rocket. If this shit can go to space, it could definitely blow the shit out of your ass. So it was really an arms race.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
But
it
they
was.
call it a space race.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
remember President Kennedy at the 60s at the time, he was trying to go ahead and encourage people to go ahead and do it, and he was hiring some university students instead of just scientific minds to go ahead and build a spaceship to go rock it up and do what the Russians couldn't do at the time.
Right.
Now, whether or not, if we do believe that we had the moon landing or not, one thing for sure that's certain is that that we definitely did in the 70s and 80s, we sent Voyager to take pictures of the planets and so forth. This, based on this data, and I know I'm getting a little far-fetched, I would still like to actually, see for myself, okay, are those pictures real or fake?
Right. Well, I got the top 10 reasons
Go ahead.
from the internet
Okay.
why we didn't go to the moon.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. Number one, like I just said, it was the heat of the Cold War,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and America needed a win.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, the Vietnam War was going on at the time, which was a very unpopular war,
Mm-hmm.
True.
and it was put out there to distract people from the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
To put people back on America's favor.
Yes. Number three, the wind on the flag, which we talked about.
Correct.
Number four, no dust on the lunar module. If we look at these photos, we know the moon is covered with dust,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and the feet of the lunar module had no dust whatsoever,
that's pretty interesting.
which a lot of scientists say would be impossible.
Okay.
Okay. Number five, no stars in any of the photos,
Yep.
which David so-called debunked.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number
Let's put
six.
it this
Number
way.
six.
Hold on. Let him go through.
Number six. Pictures of different locations on the moon have the same background.
I've did seen that.
Yeah. Number seven. If y'all know, the lens on the camera had crosshairs etched into it,
I've seen that too.
and in some of the pictures, the crosshairs are actually behind the people.
Yeah.
Instead of in front, like true crosshairs. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Okay. Number eight, the shadows, which we talked about, the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And they said we need lasers to do that, which I don't agree with, but who am I?
Well, okay.
Can I keep going?
hold on,
Can I
hold
keep
on.
going? Then there's the Van Allen radiation belt,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of scientists say that no human has been past that
Correct.
because the radiation would instantly kill you.
Right.
True.
Not a scientist. I'm just
Right. Say,
putting out this shit. Okay. And number 10, there was no blast crater
yes.
under the lunar lander.
What is a blast
What is-
crater?
Yeah, I was just about to ask. you.
When you come down with, when the rocket comes down, you got the fire, the
Uh-huh.
crater that builds up under it blows
it's-
all the dust
It's,
away.
it's like a hole that
Yeah,
it creates.
the hole.
I was
Oh,
just thinking
okay,
that.
okay.
That doesn't exist in any of the photos or videos from the
Wow.
moon.
You know
They
what's so
should.
crazy?
Yeah, they should.
I'm looking at this picture,
So
Hmm.
those are the top 10
and I don't see
reasons
that shit
from
at
the
all.
internet.
That is pretty freaking interesting.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the picture now. I
because the
do not see
motherfucker
that
didn't just
shit.
fall to the moon. You had to have some type of thrust. You know what I'm saying? To actually land.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the top 10 reasons.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, David, you can
He,
go
he
ahead.
over here fumbling. Look
I
at
know
Yeah,
me.
he looked like he rethinking the
He's ready
shit.
he's ready to think.
So go ahead, David.
He's rethinking.
Okay, one, as far as the crosshairs, being behind the illumination in some objects, that was caused due to the lighting and illumination that overpowers the crosshairs according to the camera technology at the time. That was
Okay.
the reason why it's having that trouble whatsoever. It still happens today in some of the cameras that we use.
I've never seen it happen.
Well, it says here on Bad Astronomy, if you want to go look at it, it's a book too that you can
Okay.
read as an audible. You can go look at it yourself. You could judge for yourself, guys. Again,
So what do you think about the blast crater?
the blast crater, the crater was already there to begin with.
No, there
It-
was no
there-
crater.
There wasn't
Yeah,
one.
correction. Here's the reason why. The moon does not have any atmosphere to protect any substance, any objects to hit down on the surface whatsoever. So you're going to have craters on the moon, no matter what.
That's what I'm saying. There was no crater.
There is like little impacts of just these round holes on top of the moon.
No,
when you
we're
see it from
talking
the
about
distance,
where the craft landed.
where the craft
There
landed.
should be a blast crater right under where the craft landed.
There should have been a blast crater.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the thing is that when there's the moon dust, coming in, when we blast it off, okay, when you take it off from the surface or whatsoever, the dust is eventually going to go and, slowly through the gravity, get all the
Come
dust to
the
cover off.
fuck
Okay,
on,
hold on,
man.
yeah, hold on.
Yeah, what?
Let me get
I expected this confirmation bias to get out of control, and
It's
I'm,
not you the one out of fucking
hold on.
Hey, look, I'm just presenting on the opposition whatsoever. You can believe it or not. I just want to have just a,
But their
equal thing.
their footprints up there still. Their footprints.
Yes, there
Why-
are still footprints.
So when the foot left the ground,
Why didn't the gravity do that to the footprint?
Why didn't it?
the gravity makes it so slow that it's hard to wipe it off in the first place.
So 3 years.
So you have
30
so when you
years
have
later,
the picture,
that
it's
foot-
already
So in that case, the
imprinted.
blast crater
Or
should have
they-
still been there.
Definitely should have
The
still
blast
been there.
crater happened. Okay, you were saying that there's a spacecraft that goes land. There's supposed to be this blast crater imprint whatsoever. By the time that stopped and the astronauts they come down and they start making footprints whatsoever, they have made footprints outside of the blast crater's area, and then they were able to make those imprints whatsoever. So when they climbed it right back up, they're still there.
So what? Why was the blast crater still there?
Because the blast crater, again, when I just said previously, and I know you're gonna go, oh gosh, but bear with me here.
Come on, man. He said,
You
"Gosh."
got,
What was that
you
guy?
were just, dude,
Napoleon Dynamite.
Dude, you were
Said,
just
"Gosh."
getting,
Right.
oh my God, all redged up.
Gosh.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
We're just trying to, offer our different sides here.
Yeah, I'm
okay?
just trying to get to what you was talking about.
So if you guys at home pay attention, right? So Trent, myself, the Prince over here, and Amazon, we are regular type of conspiracy
Yes.
people arguing at NASA, and this is the shit that NASA says to us.
Exactly.
This blast pattern, that's just crazy to me.
yeah, that's crazy.
Darn crazy.
Right. I mean, come on. I mean, okay, I'll give you this much, David. I'll give you this much. Well, not this much. I won't give you none of that shit. What I'll give you is this here. What I'll give you is this here.
Welcome to confirmation bias. No, go ahead.
Right.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you my personal belief. My personal
ahead.
belief. All right, just opinion. I believe that the moon landing, what we saw on television, was fake, but I believe that we actually went to the moon afterwards. Right afterwards, in general, I believe that there was 2 programs being done. One for television. Now, here's why I say that.
Ooh.
Right.
That could have been expensive, but go on.
Yeah, there's
right,
a whole bunch of speculation going on
Right.
here.
Here's and again, this is my opinion,
Of
just an
course.
opinion.
Sound like
Right.
a whole theory.
Right. Well, here go the thing. So I'm asking you, David. You're a trillionaire, billion, whatever, right? And remember, NASA's funded, right? I come to you and I want the funding to tell you I'm gonna go to the moon, something that's never been done before.
And who would that guy be?
And I'm gonna tell you that
Elon Musk, I'm kidding.
now.
I
So
know, right.
so I'm doing that, and I'm begging you. I'm telling you, I got the government even backing me. So give me the money, all right? So you break down, and finally you're like, yes, okay, here's the money. Do you think I'm gonna show my failure on national TV, so you can look at me and go, what the fuck just happened if that shuttle don't work?
There will always be failures
yeah, I
in
don't know.
national television, like we've seen in the Apollo 11, where it kind of built and blew up. You had the Columbia back in the
That was
1980s. That was a failure
To-
too,
that-
but we
that
did
was the
not stop.
Challenger.
It was Challenger. Thank you
Yeah.
for correcting me. We saw these failures, but that did not stop us from achieving the goals that we needed to do for science.
Yeah,
Right,
and
but we're
then
talking about the very
to
beginning.
me-
We're talking
me-
about the very
Very
beginning.
beginning.
to
There was
me,
no ever done. It's never been done.
No one
before.
ever done. If we had failed, and I'm sorry to quote Elon Musk here, we know we have made some mistakes, but we're going to try to base those mistakes to correct it to make sure things work.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. To me, that don't work because first of all, the supposed reason they stopped going is because of how much it costs. So
That's
to have
reasonable.
2 programs going on at the same time, and it costs what, $60 billion to go to the moon each time,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have 2 60 billion.
I didn't never said there'd be 260 billion.
I
You're
can-
only paying for one. The other one is a ruse. The people are thinking they're working
Well,
on the same
I mean,
project.
you're gonna have to pay for
The people are
pay for
thinking
it
that,
either way it goes.
man, a fucking hammer, all right?
Uh huh.
A hammer costs $250,000 on the government file. A hammer.
Okay. Well, if you say so, but what I'm saying is, I don't see that happening. I mean, that's a good theory that they would have two programs and put this one, the fake one, that kind of.
NASA is nothing but television. It's nothing but fake TV.
Well,
So it don't cost nothing. for
I
the
would
fakes
like
and
for
shit.
you to go ahead and find it out on the Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center and try to, show me that they are fake based on their technology. And
What
then
I'm
I
sa-
will praise you as, yes, you are the guy that I will go to, both of you.
right.
Okay.
Well, here's my thing is, look, man, they can create a space station, and that space station is nothing more than a museum, a tour place.
Exactly.
And you go there and they tell you all these great things. That's not the real fucking space center.
It's not space.
Right.
Can I say something?
It was good enough.
Go
for
ahead.
I want to
David.
ask you something.
I'm in
Go ahead.
space, mommy.
Right after they did all that shit about going to the moon, how long after that did you see them steady sending shit up there? Like, how long was it until it was over about them talking about going to the moon and shit?
Oh, that was a wrap.
Well, the Apollo missions lasted from 1969
Uh-huh.
to 1972.
Oh, okay.
And-
after that, it was done with.
Yeah, going to the moon.
So
no more.
they
No
had-
more going to the moon after
They
that.
had a president's run
Yes.
on
I
how long.
like you said
And it was
that.
the worst. And it's interesting you, said that,
Yeah,
Kevin,
Yeah.
that was great.
because this was done during the worst president, other than Trump,
Nah.
in U.S. history. He actually he got impeached and
Yeah, he was
had to resign and shit.
because
Richard
of
Nixon.
Watergate.
Yeah.
Richard Nixon, the worst. This was done
Tricky
during
Dick.
the biggest
That's-
fucking liar
Right.
in
Yeah.
history's
So
presidency.
and he you got people. I ain't gonna single you out. I'm
Dude, it's okay.
You got people that really believe that shit and they know this motherfucker was a compulsive
Yes,
liar.
he was
Right.
the biggest
Yeah.
liar in history at the fucking
There
time.
you go.
I
mean,
believed Nixon was not perfect, and yes, he was lying for his own agenda. Even though he did, I have to credit. that
So why
did
wouldn't
do
he
some
lie
good-
for other things?
Yeah. Well,
Why
about
wouldn't
the
he-
moon
he would-
landing.
He would try to go ahead and lie for his own agenda. That I am definitely going to make a firm stand because me personally, I frown upon that. If he does it for his own agenda, okay, you know what? That's on him.
Hey,
but
you know,
wouldn't going to the moon, right?
Be part of
Be
his
part of
agenda?
his agenda, his personal agenda.
Different
just so they can
topic,
get
sir.
a W on they
Different
board.
topic.
It's the same
Mhm.
thing. It was
Same thing.
1969.
But this is what kills me, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all know the official reason why we haven't been back?
what?
Why?
Yeah,
They say
yeah,
it costs
yeah.
too much.
No,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
one. But they lost the technology.
Man, get the
Wow.
Listen,
Oh, no,
listen,
no,
no,
Trent's
no,
got a
no,
point.
no, no, no,
He's
no,
got a
no, no,
point.
no, no, no.
He's got a point.
This
Let him
is
hear
the
him out.
official story.
Uh-huh.
They lost the most important technology known to man. The tapes of the recording of the moon landing, they recorded over the tapes.
What?
so they were-
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
What?
Some
so,
bullshit.
so, David,
come on, bro.
How do you feel about your fact shit right now?
They recorded over the
This
tapes.
supports more why we have to make a real trip to the moon to prove whether or not it's fake or to prove whether or not we actually did land or not.
Did he just
That-
say the shit was fake?
That is incredible.
Hey,
No,
no,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying.
I'm just
but
saying
just
theoretically.
but just
we
think
must
about
go
that,
travel
man.
to the moon to get new information for
listen,
ourselves.
Just
they
think about
already-
this.
Period.
They already won.
Yeah.
They got motherfuckers really believing that shit, so they won.
Yeah.
There's no need for them to really go do that shit.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
object to that because
Exactly.
But-
we still have doubters that say, okay, we never do it. Okay, we are still in doubt. The only way we are going to go ahead and say, I'm just going to say, for instance, people like me that still firmly believe we landed on the moon in 1969. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead get our modern technology to land on the moon at this present time to go ahead and say, all right, is this all that we're seeing previously before is true or fake?
Okay.
This will
They
be the
are-
ultimate debunk.
I have
for
a
good.
question for you, Trent.
Yes.
Did they say how they lost the technology?
He just
They
said,
they say that
recorded
the
over it.
tapes, the actual videotape of the moon landing, they said to save money, they recorded satellite launches over the moon landing tapes. What the fuck?
What?
I could say that
You record
Go ahead.
over a man stepping onto another heavenly body, and you record over it.
That's the whole thing he was saying. Think about that for a second. How stupid
So
that shit sounds.
Yeah.
so the original moon landing tapes don't exist. Everything you see is from what people caught on their VCRs at home and shit
Mhm.
like that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
So the original moon landing, the original HD tapes don't exist.
Hey, it
They
back,
were they
Wow.
were recorded
back
over.
in that day, they
HD
green
That's
tapes,
some
no.
bull.
Huh?
right? I said back in that day, and what?
It's
what this was,
VCR, never
60s or
HD.
some shit like
In the
that.
60s.
They green screens, they can really put back wherever the fuck they want.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Oh yeah. They had that
Sorry.
technology going on back
Oh
in the
yeah, they
days.
sure
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Big time.
I will say this. Trent, you did make a point about it's too expensive. At the time, we were focused on multiple wars. So and I know you brought up macroeconomics in there too, which I'm very happy that you did.
Yeah.
We had the government, budget to either invest more in the space technology to, go ahead and debunk it, or go more and invest on national security, which is just on war. So that's another reason why we're not getting enough money for the space program, whether or not to prove yes, no, maybe,
Yeah.
or whatsoever. Go
Yeah.
on, guys. You guys are doing
Mhm.
great.
So
Absolutely.
so y'all know that I think it was 2019.
Mhm.
China was the first to land a spacecraft on the dark side of the moon.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna throw that out.
Let's
there.
go in more.
I was
Yeah.
not that. I was gonna throw this out there. Conspiracy theorists, right?
Mhm.
They said this. They said that America actually went to the moon, and they said that when America got up there, it was something up there that warned their fucking ass to get the fuck up.
I
off
heard
there.
that too.
Yeah, and not come back.
Well, there is an actual factual fact that I don't think it was Buzz and them.
Mhm.
It was another. I think it was Apollo 10. They actually orbited. They went to the back to the dark side of the moon,
Mhm.
and they lost contact with the Earth on the dark side of the moon. And when they got on the dark side of the moon, they picked up a mysterious signal
I remember that.
for a whole hour. Y'all know
Yeah.
Jaminci was there too.
Right.
Yep, I was there. I was there.
No, on the real, they picked up a signal for a whole hour. It says sound. You can actually go to the internet and pull up the sounds that they were hearing. Man, that shit sounds spooky as hell.
Right.
It does.
For a whole hour, they were listening to this signal, and they don't know if it was an alien signal or what. But once they came back around to the light side of the moon, the side that faces the Earth,
Mhm.
they were able to get back into contact.
I bet they got their ass back down here, didn't they?
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Right.
They probably not even the same people no more.
I know, right?
May
Right.
I say
Probably
one theory
traumatized.
that possibly they got lost was because if they,
They
went,
didn't get lost.
well, okay, but you said they, in 1 hour they kind of got lost.
They lost. They lost signal.
They lost signal.
Contact
Yes,
with the
that.
Earth. Yeah.
That detail, probably because since the moon is, more minerals and more metals and so forth, even though it's weak, because the moon is blocking the signal from,
It's kind of common
Earth,
sense.
it's common sense that they would
Yeah.
have a weak signal in the behind.
Yeah, but
They were picking up
an
another
alien
signal. Right. Another
Another
signal.
They were
signal.
picking
Yeah.
up
Correct.
another signal
This is
that
cool.
wasn't from the Earth.
Wow, this is cool.
Yeah. It was
So there's
somewhere
a possibility
else.
we do have an alien
Maybe.
UFO at the other side.
And
Maybe.
there you go.
Very
Yeah.
well could be. Well, let me
Hey,
tell you this.
You
right.
know, you know
Oh.
what they say about a lie?
What?
You gotta throw more lies on top of that shit to make it sound good.
Yeah.
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 That's
Yeah.
exactly what that shit sounds
Well-
like. Oh, we got something else from the. Nah,
Yeah,
hell
yeah.
nah,
Well,
man. They just,
let
that's
me
spookism,
let me
man. I
say
don't
this
believe
one
that
here.
shit.
Let me say this one here. So there was a resident, right, doing the moon landing. There was a resident of Perth, West Australia. All right, her name is Una Ronald.
Okay.
She basically said for 2 to 3 seconds she saw a Coca-Cola bottle roll across the lower right quadrant of her television screen that was displaying the live broadcast of the Apollo 11. Now, what she's saying is, during the mission when it was on television, she basically was like, okay, I'm gonna go to break, until it come
And
on.
she seen the
Mhm.
Coca-Cola.
But
bottle.
she saw the astronauts there, and they were having a Coca-Cola, basically,
Maybe they did.
Wow.
Why not? Why
On
not
the
a Coke
moon.
on the moon?
on the moon. But the can was
man.
rolling. It was rolling.
Wow. And
Yeah.
so this footage don't exist nowhere.
Actually, the footage was released at one point, and now people are having issues trying to find it. But here go the thing, though. They said the incident was within the 10 days of the lunar landing. So, look here, bruh. That was the only person that said it.
You
Now,
think she probably was
What?
on some coke?
Can I ask y'all this?
I
What
don't
happened to her? What happened to her? She blew up.
I don't
she
know.
got
She
famous or
probably
some
on
shit?
some
no,
coke or
she
something.
no
She
famous,
died.
no famous or nothing like that. I don't know. She's probably dead now, but
Oh,
at the
okay.
time, she did say this, and she thought she actually went on a documentary as well.
But
saying
when
it.
I say did she get famous, I mean like did she get
Get paid?
attention and shit like that? Yeah.
Apparently not, because I
No.
never heard of the
No.
shit. Nobody else ever heard of it. So
yeah,
Jay
yeah,
probably did some deep digging on that one.
yeah,
He caught one of the extra ads on
Channel Zero.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's Western Australia newspaper.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
Western Australia's newspaper, and they ended up. It was such a big deal that when they did a documentary about fake landing and all of that stuff back in the 70s, she's on there and she's saying what the fuck she saw, and she was confused on like how is that possible, So,
So there was supposedly a total of 12 people that walked
Yeah.
on the moon,
Mm-hmm.
and the last guy was Gene Cernan,
okay,
and that was Apollo 17. That was the last mission supposedly to the moon.
yeah,
And after that, they burned the tapes.
right. Wait a minute.
Burn
Burn
the
the
tapes.
tapes.
Wait a minute. After that
Destroyed the
mission is when they
evidence.
they destroyed the tape.
Yeah, I mean, apparently.
I
yeah.
no, I thought it was after the 11.
Nah.
Oh, so after 17.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter when exactly it was. They burned the tapes.
That's true.
What year was this?
You know
when
what I'm
they did
saying?
that? 'Cause I
When they
just
did
wonder,
what?
When they burnt the
Well, they
after
saying
the
over
17.
time, documents got
Mhm.
lost, but
Uh-huh.
the tapes itself they recorded over. The data, you got to input data, and
Mm-hmm.
All that shit.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All of this was lost. They're saying people checked out data, didn't return it, shit like that, and so everything from the moon landing is lost. All the calculations and shit you need to get to all of that is lost.
Wow.
Right. Here go the thing. The prince made a statement that he will not believe anything that the people say on television, from government and on, and there's good reason. There's so many videos that you can see on Good Morning America and so where they're talking to the people in the space station above the space, and they have little mistakes that happen. Like one of them was where the astronaut was saying about how he misses family and whatnot, and then the other one was saying, "Yeah, I'm looking at my house now."
Wow.
Yeah, he made a statement, and they kept replaying that and replaying that and replaying that over. There's other video footage of these astronauts supposedly on the space station, but yet they got this Hornets thing that's hooked up to them.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah,
one
you see
too.
that? Yeah. So I mean, so with all of these things to throw shadow of a doubt that you're lying, why would we now take what you say as face value?
Wow. So y'all think those flags still on the moon?
Well,
The flag is in the moon, but go ahead, state your
No,
other
go ahead.
opinion.
No, I'm saying, do you
It-
think the flag is still there?
Yes,
Okay.
firmly, I believe.
well,
Okay.
from what I read, they said that the Apollo 11 flag
Burned up.
it's down,
Yeah.
but the other flags are up.
Okay.
I would like to dig further.
heard about
how
that.
would the Apollo 11 flag burn up? We don't have the atmosphere to add the fuel to the fire.
When a
So what
when a lunar lander
other-
took back off, it supposedly burned the flag.
That's a good point right there.
Okay.
Well, I did look into the fake moon rock that you've mentioned earlier when the Dutch guy got the gift from Neil Armstrong. When I was looking into the sites called phys.org, there
Fist.
Phys like physics,
Okay.
like
There goes some more fists.
I know, right?
you saw the Prince light up. The Prince lit up when it
I
said
know,
fist.
right?
Yeah, he
I
sure
don't know why-
did.
okay, I don't know why you say that. I am the prince. I have no royalty whatsoever. But anyway,
Wow.
Nah, man,
there is some speculation that the moon rock that he collected, he got mixed it up with the Rikich Museum. I don't know if this is true or not, but this is like an own conspiracy theory as its own. Now, I want to go ahead and debunk this, whether or not this is true or not.
Okay.
So they said that the rock was given to Prime Minister William de Vries. Like you said, to the Netherlands William J. Middleforth during the visit on the Apollo 11 astronauts Armstrong, Collin, and Aldrin. Okay. When Drizzt died, the rock was donated to Rijksmuseum, which remained ever since. According to the spokeswoman, Ms. Van Gilder, it was doubtful that they may have mixed one identical rocket from another.
Oh man! So he had
this
two.
is a conspiracy theory right there that I'm like, seriously, what the heck?
So he had two space rocks and gave him the wrong
One real one and one fake one.
Wow,
I want to go and
come on, bro.
investigate.
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
Yeah. Well, the museum, the shit they had was fake.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Who
that's
knows?
Crazy.
This is making me really mad, honestly. I mean,
know,
Trent,
right?
Trent, I want to go with this other, doubt that you have, you're trying to persuade me that.
I'm not trying to persuade you because I'm on the fence.
Okay.
Because we'll get back into that after break because it's actually time for a break.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was going to get into the reasons why I believe it could be true.
All right,
Oh, okay,
we'll
cool.
do that. We'll do that. I
Yeah.
tell you what. So you guys at home, you heard what we're talking about. We're just debating here, and we're just putting out stuff, and we're gonna give you our opinions on why things are what they are when we get back.
Hey.
Hey.
And we're back, guys. So this here is our, I guess, I mean, I do it all the time, opinionated. This is our opinionated segment because we got to know why. Like, why is it real? Why is it fake?
Yeah.
So it's just our opinion to see how we feel after the show and know if we feel like we believe the shit.
Well, I want to go right in on a reason why it might kind of be true
Okay.
that
Let's
they
hear that.
did go because the simple fact, like I said, the Cold War was going on
Okay.
and the space race was going on.
Okay.
Russia had the same technology, or some would say might even be a little bit advanced at the time.
Right.
I could believe that.
And so
Mm-hmm.
that would mean that Russia would have to admit defeat if
Right.
if America did make it. So Russia did admit defeat. You know what I'm saying?
There was also too, Trent, that
So Russia would have to be in on it too.
Okay.
to
Mhm.
support what you're saying too is that if Russia knew that America did fake the moon landing, they would actually
They would-
make the effort
yes.
to say, "Hey,
Yes.
they did it the fake way, even though
Exactly.
we're losers."
Yes,
Question.
exactly. That's
Ain't-
the only argument I got about, you know,
I want to ask you this: ain't Russia one of our allies?
at times,
Sometimes.
at times, not
So,
now.
when it's beneficial to them type shit.
Yeah, like during World War, they were, you know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
now, no, not so much.
Russia will only be a mutual ally if it goes to their agenda that it will support their
Same with
needs.
America.
Of course.
Same with America
Mhm.
or any
Right.
other country.
Right. The
And
reason
that's why
the-
they admitted defeat.
Well, the reason is one of
Because
the
it
biggest
benefits
reasons
both
of
sides.
America and Russia is this
Maybe.
here. Russia and America are too spread out, right?
Mhm.
So they don't want to get in our affairs. They're like, fuck that shit. We can't rule America. And America don't want to get in Russia affairs because it's like, fuck that shit. We can't rule Russia. It's too spread out. You know what I mean? So these two people, these two powerhouses just kind of sit to the side and they come together when they want to kick someone's ass or some shit.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
think definitely during the Cold War, though, they would have broken that shit out.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? They'd have been like, no, you didn't go to the moon. sir."
right. I 110% agree
Yeah,
with
so
you on
that's
that one.
the only thing that it would have to be so big that the Russians would have to be in on the conspiracy.
I don't.
too.
I don't think so because I feel like that America would have something on them to make them shut the fuck up.
Well,
basically.
well, here
I
go
mean,
the
that's
thing.
possible.
Here go the
Yes.
thing. Here go
I can build on that, but go ahead.
here go the thing. Why that fits with my theory. If there was two programs,
Mhm.
the thing we saw on TV was fake, but America actually did go do it. Okay, they did go up there afterwards. They went when they went up there. They brought something back to Russia and said, "Here it is. This is what it is. Here you go." And now Russia's like, "Holy
Well,
fuck."
do you have any evidence of
No,
the
no.
second program?
No, this is what I'm saying. It is my theory.
Okay.
It's not evidence. It's my theory on
Okay.
how these things could work.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, with the control of information and everything. You
Something
know,
to work with, Trent.
right?
Okay.
Right.
That's just bottom line. I mean, our government, when you think about it, they're not sitting here going, "You have any evidence for that? Have evidence?" No, they write out a full
Yes,
plan.
they do say do you have
yeah,
any
sure.
evidence.
No.
Everything is built on
No, they write
Evidence.
out a full plan,
report.
a full
don't
plan
know.
on how they're going to deceive and create whatever lie they want to.
And that would be even
Okay.
more expensive, but
No,
I
no,
respect your
that's
opinion.
that
You ever
wouldn't be more
You ever
expensive.
seen the movie called The Small Things?
No.
Yes.
I
Yes.
haven't. I
You
haven't.
Seen that? Oh
Uh-huh.
well, that basically was saying about the small things, right?
Right.
And when I say that about the small things, I mean like when I look at the small things that they do, and I can figure out like you lying about that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
What about the big things?
yeah.
Right.
I
'Cause,
feel
like,
that.
If you ever been to the feds or anything like that, you'll know that they say they got an 85% conviction rate, but most of that shit come from people telling and all that. I say that to say this: they don't need evidence, long as they got the right shit to get your mind captivated and your eyes and your attention.
Right.
I feel like they can trick you.
That
So it's
You're
like
talking-
brainwashing. You're saying.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
talking
basically.
about writing on the fallacy human mind, in other words. Where you get
Right.
them into a narrative where they strongly believe in something and then that's all it takes for them to be persuaded.
yes.
Well, have
Exactly.
y'all seen this this thing called deep fake videos?
Yes.
yeah.
I've heard of
I've
that.
never seen
Okay,
it.
so
Please.
I actually watched one of these deep fake
Right.
videos.
They're awesome.
It was actually a video of Nixon and the they made this video at MIT.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a video of Nixon explaining why the shuttle didn't make it back because it blew up and crashed.
Whoa, I never saw that. Okay.
Yeah, so this was it was fake,
Right. Right.
but it looked so fucking real.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And it
Right.
was supposedly made if something happened. If the shuttle didn't make it back, they already had this ready. This was made at MIT.
Wow.
So when y'all get a chance, look up MIT Nixon deep fake videos.
Definitely will.
Need
It's
to look this up.
indistinguishable from the fucking truth.
But see, and that was it.
Yeah.
The deep fake thing was incredible because
Yeah.
so if you go back to 2010 Minnesota TV, which was KW whatever 3 or whatever you call that
You
crap.
made
Right?
that up.
No, it's K.
I'm just fucking.
Yeah,
with
it's
you.
it's KW3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, it was so funny because the woman was sitting there giving the news, and she's walking around, just like how you do your normal news thing, right?
Yeah.
And then she said, "This is going to be the world in a few more years," and everyone was confused on what she was talking about. And at that moment, everything behind her and everything just disappeared. She was gone. Like literally was not there. The whole time
Wow.
they did her thing and she was sitting at home on her sofa. This was on the news and they said this is the new technology.
Wow.
So this here was part of the deep fake. So you
Yeah.
think about that. Think about what they're planning. Think about us watching. The kids did it. They did a one with the Matrix, and they had Bruce Lee fighting West. What do you call his name? Wishbone. The man Morpheus.
Mm-hmm.
Shit was beautiful, bro.
Wishbone? Who the hell is Wishbone?
Whatever his name is, whatever the Morpheus name is.
Oh,
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
this boy said Wishbone.
Yeah.
Wishbone.
I wish
well,
for a bone
the
to be
fuck is
learning
wrong
every
with this
martial art.
motherfucker?
Go on.
You
But
want
Wishbone,
bone, don't you,
bro.
Jay?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you good with that.
Yeah.
Good
This
with
shit wasn't crazy and lazy bone.
Right.
Oh,
So,
boy.
so the thing is when they did that,
Wishbone.
you have to understand why would they bring that technology out for everyone to know? Because they're gonna say, "Oh my God, these people they know this technology exists." So now when they see things for themselves on TV, when the person says the wrong thing, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that was probably a deep fake.
Wow.
That
Okay.
was probably a deep fake."
I got something a little more lighthearted.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if you had the budget to do a movie about the moon landing, who would you cast for the two astronauts, and who would you get to direct it?
Ooh. Directing would be Jordan Peele.
Okay,
All right. And the two astronauts. Oh my God, that's a big one.
I was thinking Tom Hanks would be a candidate, but
Well, no,
it's
that's
totally up to you.
that's a good one. Tom Hanks would be one.
so
Definitely.
you just answer for Jay.
Yeah, he
okay.
did. But thank you for giving me that name because
Okay.
it's difficult for me to remember a lot of white actors, males. Yep, that's all I can come up with. Thank you.
Tom
Jordan.
Hanks. That's it.
Michael
No.
B.
Wait a minute.
Michael
You
B.
gotta
Jordan?
give another person.
I have to give another person. Okay, Tom Holland.
Okay.
Tom
What-
Holland.
What about you, David?
I would say Tom Hanks, and I would say Michael B. Jordan because Michael B. Jordan has a very strong personality, and he gives a good characteristics of leadership.
And who would you get to direct?
Who would I get to direct? I would definitely get the guy who directed the infamous Da Vinci Code. It was Ron Howard.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Hey,
That-
Jay,
that's
that
that's a
was a
damn
good one.
Yeah,
that's a
it
damn
was.
good one.
What about
Yeah.
you? What about you, Jamencia?
I would say Tom Hanks and Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Oh,
And who would
interesting.
direct it?
George Lucas.
I know they would definitely have to get to the
Yeah,
chopper.
yeah.
You know
to the
it,
chopper.
Get to the chopper.
No.
Wow.
Kevin, who would you
All right.
cast?
The Prince.
Hey, I know this was coming, and I already had the perfect
Okay.
director.
Okay. Who?
You know what I'm saying? John Singleton.
Okay.
And you wanna
Okay.
know why I say that?
Why?
Okay.
Because he gonna keep it all the way real with you.
Right.
Like,
You have a
show you-
shootout on the fucking
No,
moon.
not like that. What I'm saying is, he gonna really portray it for what it really is.
Okay.
You know
And
what
who
I'm
would your
saying?
actors be?
My actors, I haven't got that far on thinking on
Okay.
who my actors would be, but
Okay.
the reason why I say John Singleton, because if I feel like he'll be like, man, this shit here is fake. I'm not fit to do this
Wow.
shit.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Well, so he wouldn't do the movie then. Okay.
Right.
Basically.
Wow.
He'll be like,
Yeah.
he'll
Okay,
be one of
so
the people that come
My
out.
choice would be Spike Lee to direct the movie.
Okay.
Just so he can
Interesting.
have that little artsy
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
feel, do the right
Uh-huh.
thing type feel.
Right.
And my two actors would be Michael Jackson and Usher. So they could moonwalk on the moon, baby. Have a dance off on the moon.
I love it.
Oh man.
That's just picture that, bro.
I love it.
Picture Michael Jackson and
I'm
Usher
picturing
Come
it
on,
right
man.
now.
dancing on the fucking moon,
Yeah.
having a dance off, bro.
Yeah.
That shit would be
Instant
dope.
for the moonwalk.
That shit would be dope.
Moonwalk.
Moonwalk.
Moonwalk on the moon. Calm down, kids.
Right, right, and then you completely replace the damn song "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra and put in Michael Jackson's "They Don't Care About
I
Us."
know, right? I know, right? That would be so fucking dope, bro.
Right.
With Spike Lee directing,
Yep. Yep.
that
So-
would definitely be dope.
So let me tell y'all this here, man. So the guy named Trent went into it a bit earlier, but anyway, the man, his name is Sebril something. But anyway, he basically, of course, challenged, Buzz Aldrin, like Trent said earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he challenged
He
Buzz.
got
I mean,
mollywopped.
he challenged him
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, you fucks didn't go to the moon."
He
He had a Bible.
he asked him, would you swear on the Bible that you went to the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't do it, and so he called him a thief.
Did he swear on the
Whoa.
Bible?
No.
He wouldn't do it.
He
And
got mad.
Yeah, he got mad, and so the guy called him a thief, and then Aldrin punched the shit out of him.
Oh, they-
Damn.
Dang.
Mollywopped.
They were squabbling.
No.
No, he just mollywopped
He
him.
just punched the shit out of him. So
Wow.
Los Angeles Police Department thought it best not to file charges.
Wow. Don't fuck with Buzz.
Right.
Nope.
The man was 72,
Creationism.
72 fucking years old,
He
bro.
was 72.
He was
He did it
72.
off of,
He was
motherfucker.
72, and the dude he hit at the time was 38. Now the
Oh,
dude
yeah.
is
I'd
56.
have whooped his old ass.
Damn.
You can't whoop
dirty, man.
You can't
Nah.
whoop a national treasure's ass.
I
He's
know,
That's
right?
72
funny.
years
That's
old.
For
real
real.
funny.
Shit,
No
you
I
been
probably
in
would have
jail.
just tripped him or something.
I would have
Bruh.
beat the gums
For
out of his
real.
mouth.
Yeah.
and you'd have been in prison forever. You
Oh,
you beat
well.
up the first man to take a step on the moon, bro.
Well, he threw the first
He ain't
punch.
take no step on the
It don't even
goddamn
matter.
moon,
It was
man.
live on camera. I'd have had all rights
All
to
rights.
whoop to get him Buzz and
Hey,
shit.
what's his name that played on the movie that we did? What's his name? The bald head dude. Makai.
Makai.
Micah.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about? The one that was on the movie.
Oh, Malachi.
Malachi.
Yeah,
When
Malachi.
he said I beat the gums out of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
right.
Wow.
Well, you
wow.
know, the other thing is that there is a video footage with Aldrin. He's we're talking with this little girl on the video, and the little girl is asking him about going to the moon and stuff like that, and he makes the statement that he didn't go.
Wow, I didn't see that one.
Hey, you know,
Yeah,
so-
it's a video. Now, is the video actually edited? I don't know.
Yeah, and then Buzz
That
would
just-
whoop your motherfucking ass for saying
Hey, you
that.
know what?
Yeah,
I would-
he didn't whip that
Come
little
on,
girl.
Buzz.
Can I say this?
And blessed the day because Buzz
Well, he
died
did.
recently,
Oh,
didn't
he
he?
died?
Mhm.
Oh,
'cause
man.
I was about to say, I wish he was here to hear what I'm about to say.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Nah,
Go ahead, say it.
what I wanted to say is these people done put this seed into their mind that the people that supposedly had went really start believing that shit for them to really start attacking people.
Yeah.
That's a deep fake for real. 'Cause
Well, think about it like this. Let's just say Buzz and them didn't go, but they had to put up his facade. They couldn't tell. Look at the fame and everything that they received from that.
but look what he did. He stole off on a young man that could put 2 feet in his ass.
But that's true.
Damn.
That's because he
true.
was mad.
Yeah,
The
he was
truth
mad.
ain't mad.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
Right.
truth can hurt too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Does.
Right.
So,
So,
all that make you do something like that, that's a deep
I mean,
fake.
well, that's his legacy. His legacy was been going. He went to the moon, and if you challenge that he went to the moon, even if he didn't, you're still challenging his legacy.
So basically, he's saying if it's a lie, we're gonna stand
Well,
on
well,
that
let
lie.
me ask y'all this. If you could live on the moon and you could only take 3 things with you, what would those 3 things be, Kevin?
All 3 of my guns.
What you
There
gonna
you
shoot?
go.
What you gonna shoot?
Well, you can't.
Not a damn
Probably the
thing.
aliens.
You don't have the air pressure nor the gravity
I know, right?
force to do the same effect.
He gonna pull a trigger and it's gonna go.
It's gonna go slow motion like
Right, it is.
No. What I'm
Okay.
saying is, I wouldn't know what to take up there because I don't believe shit these people telling me that we need to go up there.
Okay, so David, if you
Good
could
point.
take 3 things with you, what would those 3 things be?
First of all, I would need a spacecraft that I could be able to transform it into.
No,
a space
no.
Based on the Martian. Based on the Martian book.
Things.
David,
Three
They are
things.
things.
David,
It doesn't have to be small objects.
they're gonna take you, Cedric. You dude. They're gonna take you.
Yeah,
you
they're
don't-
gonna
you don't,
take
you. don't
you.
need to make no ship. You there, okay? So what you gonna
Okay.
take?
What am I going to take?
Mhm.
I'm definitely going to go ahead and take my tools.
Mhm.
That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
The second, I'm going to be using my lights because I need to know what minerals can I be able to harvest to stay alive in this godforsaken desert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the third, my radio. So I can stay in contact with planet Earth to tell them, hey, what the hell's
How?
happening?
You have a hell of a
How
radio,
would you
David.
do that?
Because
Hey,
The
no,
radio is an analog that you can use a wavelength to communicate audio with. That's why.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
makes
but
sense.
then-
Everybody
no,
know what
no.
a radio is,
Yeah,
now, right?
but-
We
Yes.
know what the radio
Radio.
is.
Hey, but then when you start hearing that interception for a whole, I remember we was talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Yeah, where we
The
hear the
alien
alien.
signal?
Yeah.
That's the real reason why I go
Jamesia,
for the radio.
What would you take?
I would take my makeup.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Okay.
I will take salads,
Wow.
All right.
and I will take my whole entire shower.
Dead on the first day.
Yeah.
Okay. Dementia,
Wow.
I will say this. Because the gravitational force is weaker in the moon, you'll probably need to get, fill the water up and then just splash it like you're kind of putting it like a blanket. And it would be a little bit interesting how to bathe yourself in space.
Oh, that shit supposed to have been sexual.
I know,
All right.
right?
Yeah, that-
So-
Sounded more scientific and shit.
Right.
Well, you watched Aliens and Alien had a lot of sexual references.
So what would
Go
you take,
figure.
Jay?
What I would take, if you guys are fans of our show, I would take one fat friend.
There you go again.
Wow.
Look, I would take one fat friend,
Right.
my Xbox.
Oh,
Where you gonna plug it up to?
I'm just
Where you
gonna,
gonna plug it up to, bro?
gonna look at it, bro.
Just in case.
Just in case,
huh,
right?
Right.
Just in case.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna bring me a sex robot.
The boy said his Xbox.
Okay.
Wow.
Jay, how in the hell are you going to
Oh
be
my
able to
God.
hold and maintain this
Down.
object that you're
Wow.
doing your business while it's floating and you won't be able to have this experience in your twisted mind?
Bro, I am gonna do something worse. I'm gonna go way beyond the Mild High Club. I'm gonna be in space floating fucking, bro. All right?
You got that right.
Oh, hold on,
Wow.
everybody. So what about you,
Wow.
Trent?
So
What about you?
What about you, man?
Go ahead, man.
I would definitely take some weed.
Okay, there you
all
go.
right.
Damn.
That might not be the place to be hot because you already hot.
Hell yeah.
You
Hot on the
already
moon,
hot.
bro.
About it.
Hot
You
on the
be
moon.
floating.
Right, okay.
Seeing
That would
double.
be something totally different.
Oh,
I know.
Right,
Yeah,
totally
I'm,
different.
I'm definitely gonna take some green.
Uh-huh.
I'll probably take like a drum machine, something I can make a beat with. So I'll make
Okay.
like a heavenly
Awesome.
fucking beat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Out of this world.
Yeah, out of this world. Then
Right.
I would probably kidnap the finest bitch I know and take her with me.
There you go.
Get it.
See, the reason why I went with a sex robot.
Oh
I
my
gotta
gosh,
have
there
a
we go. I
real
was about to
thing.
go back to that.
I got
I'm taking Rihanna with me.
Rihanna's a good choice.
No,
Taking Rihanna.
I gotta tell you why. It's because who knows how long I'm gonna be up there. And the worst thing, and the thing that we don't know,
You might be able to repopulate. You can't do that with no
Being
robot.
trapped with the wrong motherfucker.
no, or
Right.
what we do know is that the biggest enemy to women on Earth is gravity, right?
Explain.
Explain. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's none on
Because
the gravity's weaker.
the gravity on Earth pulls all women's boobs and everything down. They look
everything
all-
gonna be up on the
right. Yeah, see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
and that looks great. That looks great here. That looks great here.
Wait a minute.
But imagine being in the moon.
It would look better.
I know what
On-
he's talking
They talking about
about.
they gonna sit up.
Floating tits.
Right, on the moon,
Wow.
right? And let's say she ages
And they drop.
and they dropping and floating and flapping and looking
But
like
that's the thing.
looking like bunny fucking ears.
Nah, that's the
Nah,
thing.
nah,
They're not
nah,
gonna
come on.
drop on the moon.
They can't.
You don't think so?
Because of the less gravity.
I still take the
They-
robot.
they stay perky.
Can
Still
you
take the
hold on.
robot.
Can you imagine listening to her talking about, look at you, you got me up here, and you got to hear that shit forever. Her talking on the moon.
I would rather hear a pleasant woman's voice.
Yeah, besides a robot.
You know, besides a fucking robot.
no-
or,
But a
or
robot can
nothing.
talk.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
A robot. I would
Nah.
prefer a robot.
You go crazy without no companionship.
I would have a companion, a robot.
Nah, you-
Jay,
And the fat friend.
Humans need
Get the
interaction.
Jay. I think Trent has a point of just getting a woman. Besides, the woman's gonna feel better because she weighs less in space. Her
Yes.
self-esteem is gonna be up. Number two, if she is gonna be in the moon, she could run faster away from you, and you could have your very own play, chase, and tag in your own favorite couple area.
That sounds like a fantasy he got.
Yeah.
This
You
dude,
think that
this
every
dude
day.
is a serial rapist or something.
Right.
Oh no, I didn't develop the idea of getting a woman for sure.
Wow.
All I did was
God
this.
damn,
I'm thinking
Jay.
scientifically, how am I going to be able to
He would have tracked
survive
down his
Oh
in
my
a certain
gosh.
area?
Well,
That's
no,
it.
I'm just saying all of that, David, sounds good. But what happens when she gets on her period?
Yes, blood gonna be floating
Float
everywhere.
every fucking where.
Are you gonna
hell.
clean that up?
No, she'll clean it up.
Oh, ain't that some shit?
Good one, Trent.
She'll clean it up.
So Rihanna's gonna clean up her shit.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's gonna get all over you.
Okay.
Ain't like it be the first time,
Shit.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
I
know.
run red lights.
right? I know. I stop at all red lights.
Yeah,
Shit.
I completely make U-turns.
Well, what about this dude? Let's talk about this dude.
Mhm.
What was his name? Damn, I didn't write his fucking name down.
Dang.
Well, anyway, he's a ex NFL player.
Okay.
I think he was the first black man in space.
Okay.
He logged more than 565 hours in space.
Congratulations.
And that's fucked up. I didn't write his name. Okay, but anyway, he was recently on the podcast, and they asked him, had he ever seen any aliens or UFOs in space? He said he thought he saw a translucent thing float out of the payload bay. Said it was curved and organic looking. And he said him and his fellow astronaut called Mission Control, and they told him, don't worry about it. It was probably ice from the Freon hose that was frozen. That was NASA's explanation.
Really?
Yeah, this is a black guy. I can't remember his fucking name.
But
Is he dead now?
No, he's
No, he's still
very
alive.
much alive. Yeah,
but what do you think? I mean, do you
I think he's seen a fucking alien.
right? Do
So
he
you
think he
really
saw
think
one
they
too?
went
Yeah,
up
he
there?
does.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he does. He thinks he saw an alien,
right.
And
And but he
that
said
deep
it's
fake again.
he said translucent. I mean,
and he said it looked organic. You know, it was. He said it was curved and it looked organic.
wow.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's why I said we
Sound damn near like an orb to me.
right. Weed on the moon would be something totally different.
I know, right?
Totally
Right.
different.
Right.
I mean,
And that's why you gotta have them guns with you. 'Cause
man, the guns ain't
The
gonna be
guns
doing
ain't gonna
shit.
fucking work.
They go poof.
shit.
They gonna
Kevin,
shoot, and that
Kevin.
shit gonna barely move, bro.
Yeah,
You
you
like,
gonna
what
be
the
carrying
fuck?
that shit around for nothing.
Kevin, I'll say this: the perfect astronaut suit would be for you is the Doomslayer suit, because at least you have a war blade to fight hand-to-hand combat.
And that shit gonna be slow as fuck.
Yeah.
No, it won't, because at least
It'll
when
be
he
lighter in
pulls,
gravity,
it's
yeah.
lighter, and then
Hey,
he can still
question.
be able to attack.
How
No,
long they
he-
say it does
he-
it take for
it's-
them to travel around the moon?
How long does it take?
For them
Distance.
to travel around.
Well, probably not that long because, like I said, when they got on the far side of the moon and traveled, it only took an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey
Yeah.
Trent, I may
Yes.
have that name of that guy you were talking about.
Okay, what's his name?
His name is Joshua Dobbs.
I'm not sure.
Joshua?
That might be it. That might be it. Black
yeah.
guy?
Yeah. he's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Ex NFL player?
Uh huh.
Okay, yeah,
That's
that's
him.
him. That's him then.
Right. Well, like I said, you guys at home, we just relaxing, just debating.
How
on
long
some
did his
things.
career last?
Yeah.
Not long at all.
Mm-mm.
Long
Okay.
enough to be an NFL player, an
And
astronaut,
an astronaut.
and a bunch of other accomplished.
Yeah, he's very
things.
accomplished. So God bless him.
Yeah.
God
Um,
bless.
Mhm.
But you guys at home, man, it's just like
So they got the first black man to go up there, huh?
What do you mean?
on the moon.
He was the first black man to go on the moon, right?
Right.
He
to
wasn't the
moon.
first man on the moon.
No, I
He's a
said the
black man.
black man.
Black man.
Yeah, it's only been one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
part of the deep fake.
Okay.
Get
Well-
somebody of your kind, be like, yeah, so you did. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
Okay.
Whoa.
I mean, that could be.
Mhm.
Why fool the black people?
Yeah, I don't know, because
Yeah.
like, yeah. So here's the thing, guys. There's been a lot. Did we land on the moon? I don't know. Do I believe we did? Yes, I do, and I also believe we didn't. There's so many different things within our society and what they've done on the news and different things to the point that everything they do make you doubt them.
And then before you close, we must mention, I forgot this, very important fact. Both sides of the space race were fueled by Nazis.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. For you people at home that don't
You
know,
mean
I'm
the
pretty sure.
KKK?
No.
No,
no.
The
For you-
Nazis, Nazi
Nazis.
Germany.
Oh,
Right.
you talking about the
Right.
Hitler.
Talking about Nazis.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
Hitler.
yes.
Hitler,
So
okay.
you guys that don't know, in the Second World War, we won the war, and what we did with America, we went and took the Nazi
88 Nazi scientists
the
came to
scientists.
America,
and it's
and I think an equal amount went to Russia.
right, and they called it paperclip. And what we did
Yeah.
was we weren't nowhere near what we were today. So they basically took the rockets, and erased the swastika and put USA, and there you
Well,
have.
they actually, I don't know
NASA.
about erasing swastikas.
I'm telling you, that's pretty
They
much
lear-
what they done.
Well, no.
Yeah, that's why the facility is named after the guy. That is basically what they did. They took that particular technology, brought it over here,
Yeah,
took off
they
the
brought the
swastika.
scientists over
Not
here.
not just the scientists. They brought the
So you
rockets and
say, so
everything.
you saying the Challenger and all this shit?
Now, I'm not saying the Challenger that
And
was built
Apollo.
afterwards. I'm saying that was built afterwards. I'm talking about they actually had rockets at the time, and it had
Okay, the
swastika.
V2s
Right,
and all of
right,
that
and
shit.
they erased it. Yes, and that's why NASA's named after that particular guy. But I'm just saying that
NASA's named after what guy?
the guy, the head scientist, right? That's who came up with the name for the NASA. It's his name actually.
His name NASA?
It's broken down, but it's his name.
Well, I know you're not talking about Werner von Braun.
No, not
He was
him.
the top scientist on
Not
the
him.
top
It's
of the
something else. It's something.
the rocket program.
That's the rocket program. We're talking.
That's the
NASA,
one that got us to space. The rocket program.
NASA did not exist. There was no such thing as NASA.
Okay.
So when they brought the guy over here, it was named after that particular guy, and he's on the front of NASA with all the other people standing up as the main dude.
Any idea who this guy is, David?
I'll look him
You,
up.
you can look him up.
Okay, I never heard of the guy.
Okay.
Okay, you said that his last name.
And I thought NASA
No,
was
his
like
name is
National
NASA.
Aerospace. And,
Yes, it is. But
Yeah.
listen to the first guy who came where NASA was after is a German, and they brought him over, and that was him. All right. The rocket program and all of that's way later. That's later. We're talking about the building of NASA. There was a whole documentary on it.
Okay. But NASA is like abbreviated letters.
It is abbreviated, but I'm telling you, NASA is actually named after this guy.
Okay, I'm looking
Okay.
at Werner von Braun.
Yeah,
but,
Werner von Braun.
but
yeah.
I'm trying to look for the actual,
What I'm
name
ta-
of
what
the
I'm talking
acronym
about.
that
What
you're
does
talking
NASA
about.
stand
No,
for?
not the acronym. Don't go. I say NASA, and I'm not saying NASA is his entire name. NASA is his name based off. It was named after him.
I heard what you said, motherfucker. You heard what I said.
No, I'm telling.
NASA.
No, I'm trying to dig deeper. I'm trying
Right.
to dig deeper
I
here.
was just saying NASA is not named after nobody.
Okay,
I don't think.
on,
How can
hold
you
on,
have
hold
how
on,
can
hold
you have
on.
abbreviations? And,
it's not because you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Hold
You think
on.
NASA is that guy? No, I'm telling you that whole thing, that building, everything is named
So
after
what's the
that guy.
acronym
So what's
for
the
NASA?
name of
not,
it?
It's not an acronym. It's his man's name.
what's the
It's
name of
supposed
it
to
then?
be N dot.
No.
S dot-
No, that's the name of the in general.
So you
No.
saying like Kennedy Space Center is named after Kennedy?
Kennedy-
There's a spot named after
Like
this
like
guy,
like that.
but
like-
you just can't think of his name.
I can't think his name.
Okay.
It's on a whole documentary on it about how NASA came about, how they took the swastika off, the whole works, and that guy was there.
Okay. Taking off the swastikas.
No, they took those guys, and I don't. I mean, I really don't know because I didn't really remember them saying that there was an equal amount, but there is a photo, and that photo is in NASA.
But that's the weird part. Both sides being fueled by the Nazis. And you
Well,
know this guy, Werner von Braun,
They were smart,
he was smart as fuck. All of
Right,
them was smart as
right?
fuck.
Why would you not take them. Like,
yeah, and if he was alive today or some shit, he would be prosecuted for war crimes.
well, see,
If he wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
but
The guy-
but that was the thing though, Trent. He was so smart, and even war crimes. What actual war crimes did they actually do? They were just scientists.
because Werner von Braun
Mhm.
actually ran a rocket factory in Berlin
Okay,
before the war,
okay,
and they would actually hang the slowest Jewish people, the slowest workers, which were Jewish people. They would hang them out in front of the factory.
ooh, now that's
Yeah,
That's kind of dark.
That's dark as fuck.
that went straight dark. I didn't
These other
Yeah.
Nazis, they were war criminals,
right, but the scientist.
bro. If you do your research, yeah, they would a
God
lot of
damn.
them.
I mean, I know that they called it paperclip,
Yeah,
and that was them bringing them over and implementing them into American society.
some of those guys were the dirtiest of dirtiest Nazis,
Well, you have to be if you're trying to figure out some shit.
I guess, bro.
But anyway, guys, you guys at home, look, it was just a conversation about if or not. If we don't care which way you go, because we just like, look, it is whatever. You know what I mean? It was just something that we could talk about, and we thought it was interesting that so many different people have different views on this, and we hope you had, at least thought about some of the things we said, what we gave you.
Oh yeah.
So myself, JH.
And I'm Trent A. Johnson.
Amazon Jamencia.
Dave R, the Anchorman, now nicknamed Prince, signing off.
No, the Prince is next to you, bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. We have now Kevin
He
the
thought he
Prince.
was Prince the whole
He
time.
That's
I
funny.
thought you were calling me Prince. Excuse me.
Not a problem, not a problem. But man, here's the thing: we love you guys, man. Keep watching the show, man, and just check us out. You know what I mean? And like, subscribe, share, all the time. And we'll see you next time. We out.
Peace.
Hey.